Hello everyone. Welcome to Disaster Recovery and Build Back Better lecture series. In this lecture, I will discuss about the role of information in disaster preparedness and disaster recovery. Okay, so this lecture would be in relationship with another two successive lectures. So please stay tuned and listen the other two lectures after this one. Okay, so the focus here would be that to make the decision about disaster preparedness that would lead to disaster recovery, okay, for the people. While make this kind of decision, who are the source of information for individuals, from where they get the information, okay? So this is Bangladesh, and I will first introduce to you the problem, a little problem in Bangladesh, and why they need disaster preparedness and what extent and in which context, okay? So this is Bangladesh, a beautiful country with a lot of greens, surrounded by India. Most of the three sides are surrounded by India, with one of the most fertile land, and also it is a beautiful country. But this beautiful country, particularly in the coastal areas, they are under serious threat of drinking water risk and climate change induced risk kind of disaster. So they are facing a very millions and millions of people are battling here. It's a very densely populated country, okay? It's one of the most densely populated country. Their population is already close to 20 crores. So let us look. So this area, they are suffering from two huge, slow poisoning environmental and disaster risk. Okay, is that you are slow poisoned gradually, and nobody is realizing until before 5 years or 10 years. What is the problem here is that arsenic contamination of groundwater. So arsenic contamination of groundwater, you cannot drink the groundwater because it's contaminated by arsenic, and you cannot drink water, surface water, because it is affected by salinity. Is the kind of salty. If you will get dysentery, diarrhea, and other health problems. Well, they have a history. Like after the independence in 1971, after the independence from Pakistan, Bangladesh in 1980s, in the early 1980s, before that, during that time, people used to depend on surface water, like river, ponds, canals, or lakes for their, basically ponds and rivers, for their drinking water need, okay? And this surface water, also sweet water, and people depend on that. But UNESCO, along with in collaboration with the Japan government, they started to stop not promoting surface water as a drinking water. They said that they found that it could lead to waterborne diseases like dysentery and diarrhea and other health issues. So mortality rate was increasing there because people were drinking surface water from ponds and lakes, which according to UNESCO and other scientists was contaminated. Waterborne disease was enormous in this area. So what did they do? They started to, in collaboration with the UNESCO, the Bangladesh government started to promote these tube wells, which you can see the hand pumps kind of tube well, okay, So these tube wells are not very deep, only 15-20 meters. You can get water and you can use it. So they were hugely promoting tube water, which is cheap and which you can have the access to groundwater. Now, people started to using tube wells. And by 1990s, after 10-15 years promotion of tube oil, almost 80% of the rural population of Bangladesh having their drinking water from tube wells. So they used to depend on surface water from ponds and river. Then they started to move from surface to tube water, tube well water, okay, or hand pumps. Now, when the 80% people using this one, then the scientists realized that the people now again exposed to another disaster, another risk, that is arsenic contamination. So if you are drinking arsenic contaminated water, then your health will be severely affected, making you vulnerable for cancer even. So the one problem that you cannot drink surface water because it was contaminated already, but recently it is more contaminated by water salinity. It could be sea level rise, climate change, and also some kind of changes of shrimp cultivations. They are channelizing the seawater into in mainland areas. So as the upland areas, as a result, these areas are also contaminated by water salinity. So drinking water is in crisis. You cannot drink surface water because it's water saline, and the groundwater because of arsenic. Now here you can see that the Ministry of Environment and Forest, 20 million people affected by varying degree of salinity in their drinking water. Okay, Integrated Regional Information Network 2007 reporting salinity intrusion has risen by 45% in the last 5 decades. 45%. You can see this one in 1973 and 1997, how this is changing, water salinity in Bangladesh, this water salinity intrusion. Okay, so these all red areas are actually water saline areas. So, as I said, that during the late 1970s or in the beginning of 1980s, the Bangladesh government, supported by the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, initiated a mass project installing shallow tube oil, STWS is in short, and to provide safe drinking water to the rural population suffering from number of waterborne diseases such as diarrhea, cholera, due to contamination of drinking surface water. Okay. Now more than 80% Bangladeshi population depends on tube oil for drinking water. Okay. Now they are affected by water arsenic contaminations. 1.2 million people of Bangladesh already recognized identifiable symptoms of arsenic. Okay, and 30 to 40 million people are at risk, indirectly or directly, because they are drinking arsenic contaminated water. It's not a small number, 30 to 40 million population. Then what is the solution for this? You can see water, but you cannot drink water. There are a lot of water. They don't have the water scarcity as such, because it's a coastal area. You can see water every day. you can see water, but you cannot drink water, neither surface water, neither groundwater. What is situation? Some people came up with idea community level water supply, pond sand filter system. Okay, so it was like you are collecting the pond water and then with some kind of filtering, sand filter kind of system, then it's aggregated and then coming to clear water. But there is a lot of maintenance issues and which is not working very well. It's called PSF, pond sand filter. But people are finding that this is not really working at all to provide drinking water. There is another solutions to provide water filter to the people, which would work some extent, not badly, to provide a better water. Though scientists are not very sure that it can really reduce the arsenic, eliminate arsenic, but still it is not very bad. But are they affordable? The people in coastal Bangladesh are one of the most poverty-stricken people. Okay, they are really, really, really poor. A large number of population are very poor. Can they afford to have these filters? This is a question, the big question, right? So people are saying now that, okay, we need alternative drinking water in this area. But the scientists find that people are not very encouraged, not very motivated to have these alternative drinking water, right? So people saying that the several reasons are there. People have a habit and attitude kind of problem. People become used to with this what they are drinking. They would say, no, my father, my forefathers, my grandfathers, my great-grandfathers, they all are living here, they are drinking the same water. They didn't have any problem. They lived 70 years, 80 years without any much issue. Why should I bother? I am used to it. I become resilient. So don't worry about me. Well, this is one perspective. Another perspective is similar line, that if people saying that they have lack of awareness. Maybe they don't know, they're used to it. They don't realize the seriousness, severity, and vulnerability of this disaster. Another one is the existing poverty. People are really poor. They have so many problems in life. Their entire livelihood is at risk. All households, they are at risk from the poverty perspective, income perspective, economic perspective. So when they are every day at crisis because of their financial condition, it's really tough for them to look into other matter. Okay? So it's a kind of background risk. Also, there are other factors people identified. These are lack of education, distrust, and distrust in government agencies and NGOs. They cannot believe that these NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and governmental organizations are really honest promoting any kind of alternative drinking water technology. Because in 1980s, they were told that, okay, your surface water, your ponds are contaminated, please use tube wells. It took a long time to convince people not to use surface water. They are more comfortable, much more comfortable using surface water, which took much longer time, spending a lot of investment projects to motivate people to use tube wells, not surface water. Now you are again saying that don't use that one. Where should I go? It's not a very prosperous area economically. So then what else? Are you hopeless? We can't do anything. Some people coming with accepting that challenge, coming with a very innovative idea. A very innovative idea and very simple. They said, hey, come on. We have plenty of water actually. Numerous taps in the sky for safe drinking water. The sky will provide us drinking water. Don't worry. Yes, like this tap. Like this tap, you get, so each one we can get gallons and gallons of water. Okay? Who says we don't have water? There is a Japanese organizations, non-profit organizations, People for Rainwater. They said, okay, this is called amamizu. In Japanese, it's called a kind of rainwater that will bring smile to every home. Therefore, diffusion of innovation is inevitable. This is a model tank at the household level. During the rainy season, you have to collect water, and from the roof water, this will come, channelize, okay, and you will store it here. Simple, very simple. And there is a small net, pipes and faucets, okay. So this small, simple technology you need. Bangladesh, which has a very good rainfall, like this one, from April to May, you get a rainwater. So it continues till September. So from October to March, 6 months, you need water. So you preserve water during this time, in the end of this, and then you can continue for these 6 months. And during this time, you have always rainwater, so you don't need to worry. So they have an average rainfall of 1,500 to 2,000 millimeter, but concentrated only in these months. So some people came up with that, okay, we can do it if we have around 5,000 liter water, 5,000 liter water tank, then a 4 and 5 members family can easily run 6 months with this preserved water for drinking purpose. Okay, so this is a small tank at the household level. He's an NGO person, and they are the users. So we need to install this tank, which is not very costly, little costly. So the challenge is therefore to solve the drinking water risk in Bangladesh. You need to install many. So this is our challenge. So how we can recover from this? How we can promote this rainwater harvesting, right? So this is our challenge. Given that how we can solve this problem. So as a planner, as a practitioners, we are say that, okay, you need to promote this tank to stop drinking water risk, to reduce drinking water risk in Bangladesh. Tell us, what is the solution? People are poverty stricken, people have habit problem, people have problem of risk ignorance. So they are not considering so many problems. One, socioeconomic problem. Another one is the educational problem. So during such a complex situations, the government is hiring you and asking you that what solution you can give. So in order to encourage people, you first need to know why, what they need, what is the role of information, what kind of information we should provide to them and how we should provide to them, so that they would be motivated, encouraged to install these tanks. So this is the ideal. The small effort. We don't need a very gigantic big effort, but it's very small. This small effort can have a very gigantic impact. Like diffusion is of innovation. This innovative technology is inevitable for sustainable climate change adaptations and disaster risk management. So putting a lot small power together adds up to big power, right? Putting a lot of small power small power ending at a very gigantic big power. Okay? So, our research problem then, if we are asking people to install this tank, imagine this is a tank. We ask people, hey, install this tank at your house. Oh, I am really confused. Why? It's not easy to make a decision. Why? Because I really don't know the advantage, merits and demerits. How should I believe you? How should I trust you? Right? So I need information because this is a new. No one before tried this one. This is an innovative technology. So innovation is also very dangerous in some sense because this is new. And as it is new, its advantage and disadvantages are not known to the people. So people have no idea. They have to make decision of adoption, decision of installation in an uncertain situation, right? If you are buying this one, is already existing in a community, no problem. You can buy this remote. But if this one is not available, never came before, so how people would make a decision? That's a big question. So what kind of information people then need? How they would know that, okay, this is good or bad? This will work for me or not? They need information, right? If we provide, they don't have the information because this is new, but if we provide them information, they would eventually know. They would judge and evaluate this innovative technology. This will remain innovative, but this would not be that new because they would have some feedback. So now people need to collect information in order to reduce their uncertainty. No one likes uncertainty. Everyone wants to predict their future. Like any kind of risk is always future, That's true. We always face risk in future. Future risk cannot be in present or past. It's always in future, like fear. So like uncertainty. So it is always in future. So we would like to, no one likes uncertain situation. They want to minimize the uncertainty. So then people would like to collect information. How they can collect information about this tank, this person? He can collect it, one is through hearing, right? Another, he can collect from listening or hearing from others. Another one is observation or watching this tank somewhere in some place, friend's place, bazaar, market, an anonymous person's house. So the hearing, it would give him software kind of knowledge, like what is the function of this tank, how does it work, what are the utilities, effectiveness. So his friends, his relatives, or maybe someone, neighbors, he doesn't know, or from radio, televisions, anything. It could be human networks, it could be social networks, anything, mass media. So he or she can collect informations about tank through hearing, but hearing can only allow you to collect informations about the software part, not the hardware part. For hardware part, you need to watch it. What is the shape, size, structure? Is it beautiful or not? Is it big or small? Okay? Is it round or square? So these are also very necessary because I don't have maybe space to install it. Or maybe it would look ugly if I put it in my house. So these hardware components you can only get through observation. Okay? And then it would complete my knowledge. But this is a model of diffusion of innovations developed by Rogers. They are saying that knowledge is important to make decisions, like knowledge means information, which we can get through hearing and observation. But knowledge immediately does not lead to adaptation. No, no. It takes time. Before making adoption decisions, we need to have persuasions and decision question. So the persuasion stage and decision stage, that means what is the utility of that? From a subjective point of view, I need more informations. If subjective interpretations of that one, in my condition, it will work or not. This kind of context, which I get, which we call discussions. So we need three kind of informations: hearing, observations, and discussions. Okay, these three informations would really help me to reduce the decision making in uncertainty, and then I would make a decision. In my two other lectures next to that, I would then give you the examples for Bangladesh, the results, that feedbacks, that how people collect these informations, what kind of networks they use, and who play a bigger role. Okay? Thank you very much.